Adventures, welcome back to another video. Today is the very last video on our Bristol Blenheim build series. So pretty much, as everyone is well aware, we go through the history of the aircraft, of the actual type of aircraft, and then go on to the history of our aircraft, such as this Blenheim, because this time I've actually been able to get hold of the history of this aircraft. Unlike one or two aircraft, sadly I can't get hold of the information, as some of them, I don't know why I can't get hold of it. But with our Blenheim, which has surprised me, I have. So I hope you enjoy.
The Bristol Blenheim is a British light bomber designed and built by the Bristol Aeroplane Company, which was used extensively in the first 2 years of the Second World War, with examples still being used as trainers until the end of the war. Development began with the Type 142, a civil airliner, after a challenge from the newspaper proprietor Lord Rothermere to produce the fastest commercial aircraft in Europe. The Type 142 first flew in April 1935, and the Air Ministry ordered a modified design as the Type 142M for the Royal Air Force, RAF, as a bomber. Deliveries of the new Blenheim to RAF squadrons commenced on the 10th of March 1937. In service, the Type 142M became the Blenheim Mk1, which would be developed into the long-nosed Type 149, the Blenheim Mk.4, except in Canada, where Fairchild Canada built the Type 149 under license as the Bolingbroke. The Type 160 Bristol was also developed from the Blenheim but was already obsolete when it entered service. Both versions were converted into heavy fighters by the addition of a gun pack with 4 Browning .303 in 7.7mm machine guns mounted under the fuselage. The Mk.4 was also used as a maritime patrol aircraft, and both aircraft were also used as bombing and gunnery trainers once they had become obsolete as combat aircraft. The Blenheim was one of the first British aircraft with an all-metal stressed skin construction, retractable landing gear, flaps, a powered gun turret and variable pitch propellers. The Mk.I was faster than most of the RAF's biplane fighters in the late 1930s, but advances soon left it vulnerable if flown in daylight, though it proved successful as a night fighter. The Blenheim was effective as a bomber, but many were shot down. Both Blenheim types were used by foreign operators, and examples were license-built in Yugoslavia and Finland, in addition to Canada.
Oh well, thanks to Wikipedia for that one, simply because the fact that I was really finding it to get actually saying it for some reason very difficult. So use voice synthesizer and Wikipedia. Next piece, which of the actual aircraft that we actually built, is coming from the Aviation Safety. And one moment to see. No, yes, the Aviation Safety Network. So links will be in the description for them as well. Also, let's get on to the actual the main reason why for this video, because obviously this is to mark our respects for the crews who flew this aircraft, and it's just a mark of remembrance. So, hope you enjoy.
Arthur Stuart King Scarf. Number 62 Squadron. Extract from the London Gazette of the 21st of June, 1946. Squadron Leader Arthur Stuart King Scarf, deceased, Royal Air Force, Number 62 Squadron. On the 9th of December, 1941, all available aircraft from the Royal Air Force Station, Butterworth, Malaya, were ordered to make a daylight attack on the advanced operational base of the Japanese Air Force at Singora, Thailand. From this base, the enemy fighter squadrons were supporting the landing operations. The aircraft detailed for the sortie were on the point of taking off when the enemy made a combined dive bombing and low-level machine gun attack on the airfield. All our aircraft were destroyed or damaged with the exception of the Blenheim piloted by Squadron Leader Scarf. This aircraft had become airborne a few seconds before the attack started. Squadron Leader Scarf circled the airfield and witnessed the disaster. It would have been reasonable had he abandoned the projected operation, which was intended to be a formation sortie. He decided, however, to press on to Singora in his single aircraft. Although he knew that this individual action could not inflict much material damage on the enemy, he, nevertheless, appreciated the moral effect which it would have on the remainder of the squadron, who were helplessly watching their aircraft burning on the ground. Squadron leader Scarf completed his attack successfully. The opposition over the target was severe and included attacks by a considerable number of enemy fighters. In the course of these encounters, squadron leader Scarf was mortally wounded. The enemy continued to engage him in a running fight, which lasted until he had regained the Malayan border. Squadron leader Scarf fought a brilliant evasive action in a valiant attempt to return to his base. Although he displayed the utmost gallantry and determination, he was, owing to his wounds, unable to accomplish this. He made a successful forced landing at Ayla Star without causing any injury to his crew. He was received into hospital as soon as possible but died shortly after admission. Squadron leader Scarf displayed supreme heroism in the face of tremendous odds, and his splendid example of self-sacrifice will long be remembered. The Victoria Cross is posthumously awarded to Squadron leader A.S. King Scarf for a bombing raid on Singora Airfield in Thailand, flying in a Bristol Blenheim IL-1134, PTF, of No. 62 Squadron. Due to Malayan campaign records being destroyed, the authorities did not hear of Scarf's actions until 1946, when the Victoria Cross was belatedly gazetted.
Pretty much, as you can tell, an absolute legend of a man, and well deserved of the Victoria Cross. Sadly, never saw it in person, but his memory will live on. Pretty much, this is my variant of marking my sign of respect to the people who gave up so much for us. It's against so much odds. Pretty much that is it for the Blenheim series. I am hoping that you all liked the Blenheim series. I know I certainly did. And good news, I've actually got a little bit of footage of the very last airworthy Bristol Blenheim actually going past me when I went to Duxford. So that'll be just before the outro. So if you have enjoyed today's video, please put a like on it, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. I always make a point of always replying back to a comment and any suggestions. And if you're not going to put up a reasonable suggestion, for example, and you're just out there to say rubbish, then obviously I'm not going to reply. But if you give me a proper suggestion or something like that, I will take note of it. But anyway, we won't go on to that. We're nearly on our 400 subscriber goal, which is crazy. I never thought this time last year I was actually only hit 200, and now I'm hitting 400, so nearly hitting 400 now. So hopefully we'll get that before December, and then go on to our next goal. Anyway, till the next time, my fellow Rangers, I hope you all take care, enjoy doing what you do, and Lone Ranger signing out.